If men come unto me, I will show unto them their weakness. I give unto men weakness that they may be strong. I've got to read this. Oh, that's not the words. That they may be humble. That's in Ether chapter 12, verse 27. I was a compulsive overeater, and I'm not anymore. This made me a compulsive dieter and a compulsive jogger and a freakazoid. All that consumed my mind was the scale and what I weighed. Years of this was madness. What kind of life do I have if all I do is spin in addiction and guilt and shame? That is not a life. Any of you who have addictions, which is probably all of you, know this cycle. We hate this cycle. I was one day jogging with Wendy. I asked, how do I change? I can't do this addiction, guilt, I hate myself thing anymore. There is no peace unto these. I believe the answer came through her. She said, take it to the Lord and ask him to change you. Does the Lord just magically change us? You're about to find out. Okay, I never thought to do that. Does God just magically change me? I hoped for such doctrine to be true. And so I entered the weekend with that prayer burning inside of me. Like, you don't even know what burning means. It was like I was on fire. Enos chapter 1, my soul hungered and I kneeled down before my maker. I used to kneel down before the baker. Before my maker, and I cried mightily. I prayed nonstop, hour after hour. Every cell in my body was screaming for relief from the madness of overeating and the guilt and the shame cycle. Done with that crap. Oh, I didn't even finish typing that. Anyway, so I'll finish telling the story. I just found this text and I thought I better get this thing out there. Because I mentioned in my channel that I was going to talk about this, but I've never talked about it because, whatever. So, for 2 days, I am praying and begging the Lord for relief from this. And when I say that every cell in my body and in my spiritual body was vested, it was vested. I'd never cried to the Lord like this before. And then what happened was, after 2 days of doing that, I went home back to my husband and kids, and suddenly it gradually came upon me, this joy I had never ever felt, an all-consuming joy, and it felt like a bubble around me of joy. And then my house became really clean. I was the one cleaning it. But you know how everything, like you're on a moving sidewalk in the airport when everything just flows with you? That's what was happening to me. And joy, gladness, and I felt the Lord say, move over. I'm going to take the wheel. I'm going to show you how this is done. I felt that. And I just sat in the passenger seat and the Lord took the wheel, just like What's Her Bucket sang. Blonde girl. Anyway, getting old here. Not Mariah Carey. What's her name? Country singer. Very pretty. Okay, move on, Jeanette. All right. Ow. It's so hard to sit in a van that's ghetto. I'm always sitting in the ghetto van. My father died many years earlier. And as I was walking through my clean house, filled with joy, I felt an opening and that he could see me as I walked past his picture. And it wasn't coming from his picture. It was just, for some strange reason, past the hallway, from the staircase into my master bedroom. But when I passed that hallway, I felt an opening and that he was there and able to see me. So then I walked over to the picture. Well, I said, hey, Dad, a little more reverently than that. But the whole day I just took his picture around with me and talked with him and told him how my life was going. I had to sew a dress for my daughter. And usually I say swear words when I sew because I'm not a good seamstress and I have to use a pattern. But I didn't have to use a pattern. It was a very simple dress, but I felt step by step by step of what I needed to do. I didn't know I had a brain fog. That lifted. I had crystal clear thinking for 2 weeks. And I don't know what else. I don't remember everything, but for 2 full weeks I was floating. And then I started to come down off of this floating. And I started to panic. I thought, what am I doing that I'm losing this? And I also noticed my eating was coming back. Anyway, I fell back to earth. And I didn't know what was that about. But I did feel something had been burned out of me. And the desire to listen to really bad music or music with lyrics that were just not in tune with the Lord, I lost all desire for the world. I lost desire for movies that were violent or that taught stuff that was not in line with the Lord. And I just lost a desire for these things. Like the sin was burned out of me. But of course, I was not to be or remain perfect. And so I fell back to earth. My eating went back. I never lost the weight. The madness with that kept going. And so for years I wondered, what did the Lord just do to me? But how come he didn't do for me what I said I needed to have changed? How come he didn't change me? Because that's never his doctrine. His doctrine is that we choose him, and we have to do this year after year, minute after minute, second after second, and things do get better, and we do change, and we do become like him. But there's no magic tricks, although there are huge times where he will sometimes actually deliver us, because he delivered from me from other things. I cannot begin to convey to you what the Lord did because I still to this point do not understand it. But it was a 7-year period after that big miraculous thing that something else huge happened 7 years later. And then 7 years later. So there are these cycles with the Lord. Do not give up on him and do not give up on yourself. Do not think that you are a lost cause. You are only lost if you give up. And I actually went through years of giving up still, wondering, well, I don't know, whatever. It's messy, but it works. And I'm going to stop there with that because there's other videos I want to make on this that tell different parts of this. So thanks for listening.